What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Q from the Light at the End of the Tunnel channel. And first off, I want to thank all my subscribers, all the supporters, all of the love. I genuinely appreciate it, man. Y'all know I'm trying to get this channel going, trying to get everything moving and get it off the ground. And I appreciate the momentum and the energy that everyone has been giving me, man. I really appreciate y'all. Today we're going to be getting active as usual. Today we're going to be rolling our sleeves up and doing the dirty work. And today I'm going to be discussing just our meaning, our purpose. What is your purpose? You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even know what their purpose is. And it's kind of a loaded topic because it could be so many things. You understand what I'm saying? But we're going to jump right in it. First off, I want to say that your purpose is, you can make it easy by saying your purpose is doing the next right thing. Let me explain. Now, I can remember a time where I pulled up at the McDonald's drive-thru and it was a lady outside asking for $5. It was a lady outside of a McDonald's drive-thru asking for $5. So what I did was I gave her 20. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't know if this has anything to do with my gesture or not, but I know that I've never been outside asking for $5, if that makes any sense. In other words, I try to make sure I continue to put out good deeds and be helpful to others and give as much as I can in order to receive good back in my life. That's one of the secrets. A lot of people don't really understand the secrets because we don't even necessarily understand the laws of attraction, if that makes any sense. The laws of attraction is what? What you put out is what you get back. It's simple. The laws of the universal laws, the laws of attraction, the laws of the universe is what? What you put out is what you get back. So if we're thinking rational with, logical sense, and rationalizing and using reason in this matter, then what? That must mean that in order for us to receive good deeds and to have good blessings and our cup overfloweth and for us to have all of this good stuff happening to us in our lives, then that must mean what? We have to put that out. And see, for a lot of us, that's a big problem. Because we don't want to put out anything. We don't want to do anything. We don't. I was just talking to a guy the other day, man, and he was, we was sitting down and we was talking, and I was explaining to him. I said, listen, man, I'm never gonna stop until I'm in a casket. I'm always gonna be doing something. Whether it's doing some working out, whether when I'm done working out, or you need to be personal trained, got you. Oh, you have a friend that published this and that, and you can hook me. That bet I'm gonna write a book. Okay. Oh, we need the construction. Yeah, let's do construction. Oh, real estate. Yeah, let's get some property. I'm always gonna be doing something. My job is not done. I'm always gonna be doing something productive. Yes, I have a job. Great, cool. That's not it. That is not the end all and be all for me. Maybe for someone else, that is it. That's where it stops. For me, I'm always going to be doing more. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care what I'm doing. I'm always going to be doing more. I don't care if I have a Bentley truck. I'm going to be doing something more to acquire 2 Bentley trucks. I don't care if I have 300,000. I'm going to be doing something to acquire another 300,000. Let's not get that misconstrued and get that mixed up with not being content. I'm most definitely perfectly content. But what I am not is complacent. And what I am not is stagnant. I will not be stagnant. I will not just be a sitting duck. I will always be moving forward. No matter the journey, no matter what I'm getting myself into, I'm always going to take a leap of faith, put my best foot forward, and give it the old good college try in any endeavor that I indulge myself in. Always going to be like that. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of us don't know the power of sacrifice. Sometimes you got to sacrifice that sleep. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to sacrifice them good days off at work. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to sacrifice the bowling trips. Oh, it was bowling night. We were supposed to. Sometimes you got to sacrifice bowling night with the guys. Sometimes you got to sacrifice that football game that's supposed to be coming up. Sometimes you got to sacrifice love and hip hop that's supposed to be. Sometimes you got to sacrifice. Sometimes you have to sacrifice. And a lot of us don't know the meaning and the power of sacrifice. You understand what I'm saying? And once we understand this, then a lot of things will go a whole lot smoother for us. I promise it will. Life will go so much smoother for us once we gather up all the tools and put it in order. Just put all the tools in order. Someone once told me, and I'm going to use the analogy of like playing a game of spades, like a game of cards. You playing spades, the diamonds and clubs and stuff like that, right? So someone once told me, right, that you never want to show your hand, right? You never want to just show your hand. If we're playing a game of spades and we're sitting at the table with our cards like this, right? So our cards is like this. In other words, you don't have to see the cards that's in my hand. I'm showing you what's in my hand. You don't have to guess if I have the king of diamonds, because I'm showing you that I got the king of diamonds, and I'm showing you that I got the ace of spades too. I'm showing you what's in my hand. Sometimes we have to show others what's in our hand. Don't keep it a secret. Don't keep it a secret. Sometimes you got to show people. It's best to show others what you're about. Show others your worth. Show others your meaning. Show others your intentions. Show others your motives. Show others your energy. Sometimes you have to show others that. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you don't, and there's two sides to this. Sometimes a lot of times you want to be, private. I wouldn't say secretive, but I would say private. You understand what I'm saying? But in this situation right here, and in this particular topic right here, sometimes you want to show your hand, as if I come in peace. I come in good faith. Yeah. Does that make sense? So I'm literally showing you the secret. This is the secret to win. The secret to win at life is what? You put out good deeds. You put out good energy. You put out good. Why do you think they have the saying, you reap what you sow? You reap what you sow. Does that make sense? In other words, if you go around doing bad, horrible, horrendous, horrific, terrible, disastrous, catastrophic, if you just go around doing bad, harmful things to people, that's what you got coming back to you. And the way karma works, let me tell you something about karma. Karma is so crazy that guess what? You've gone your whole life doing all of this bad stuff to people, right? Carjacking and stealing, identity theft and stealing this and beating them up and pulling kick doors, and you doing all of this other stuff that you've been doing, and you got to pay for that. You got to live with the fact that at some point in life, it's going to come full circle and it's going to come back to you. But this is how karma works. Guess what? It doesn't necessarily happen to you. So you might go through life doing all of these evil, bad deeds to people, and then guess what happens? Your girl gets killed in a car accident and she was pregnant with your firstborn. That's the type of, and I'm most definitely being over the top, super sensitive, super dramatic and extra, but that's how it works. That's what's happened to me in plenty different scenarios and in plenty different instances. That's exactly what happened to me. You understand what I'm saying? That not only that, but that's just how karma works. You will just live through life skating by, doing all of this harmful, mean things to people. And then one day, you'll get that call that, your best friend was kidnapped and abducted, and they found him in a trunk in Santorini, somewhere in Greece. I mean, I'm being a little bit extra, but that's, in all actuality, that's how karma works. And so to cheat, this is the cheat code, the secret. The cheat code is what? Accumulate the knowledge. Put the knowledge into practice. So what is the knowledge? The knowledge is what? You do good, you get good. Right? So you accumulate the knowledge. I do good, I get good. You put it into action. You put forth the action. You do good. Oh, you need a ride to work today, bro? Got you. You don't have to put his business out there at work that you gave somebody a ride. Yeah, I gave such and such a ride to work, man. I don't know why he keep asking me for rides, man. I don't know what he be doing with his money, bro. We get paid every year. You don't gotta do that. You don't have to do that. A lot of us do that. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. Yeah, man, you heard about such and such, man. Yup. They said they went to his house the other day, took his furniture all out his house. Yup. So I seen him with the flat. They said he had the flat screen too. And yeah, they said it was like a 72 inch. They said it was big too. We don't gotta do that. A lot of us get so caught up in the external, right? And this gets a little bit deeper, but a lot of us get caught up in the external, and a lot of our wealth is inward. See, your wealth is inward. A lot of people can't even necessarily, I don't want to say that they can't see it, because when it's inward and once it begins to show itself, once it begins to come outward, that's when people can see it. You understand what I'm saying? And it gets deep. It really does. But in other words, in the nutshell, you do good, you get good. Now, back to what I was saying on another topic. Your job is never done. Your job is never done. I cannot stress this enough. I don't care what you're doing in life. I don't care what you're doing. I really don't. Like, you could be driving an 18-wheeler, big rig truck where you drop and hook all day, where you drive 3,000 and 4,000 miles a day. Guess what? On those off days, you need to be reading a half a chapter of a book. You need to be doing something else. I don't care if you're a lifeguard. When on your days off that you're not saving lives from in the swimming pool, you need to be doing something else. I don't care if you're a personal trainer. On days off that you're not doing push-ups and pull-ups in the gym, guess what? You need to be doing something else. I don't care if you're a plumber, an electrician. I don't care if you do HVAC. I don't care what it is that you're doing. Guess what? When you have excess free time, which eventually you will, guess what you need to be doing? Something else. You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of times what happens to me, and this is empirical knowledge. In other words, this is firsthand knowledge through firsthand experience. I'm using I statements. I'm using me, I. So what I have went through is I'll sit back, and in the previous video that I did, the power of reflection, I'll sit back and I'll reflect. And you know what'll come to me when I'm reflecting? I'll sit back and I'll be like, man, you know what? Man, I remember. Man, I wonder why I didn't try to just take them 2 college courses, man. Damn, I knew I should have. I probably could have made it doing that too, man. Or I'm sitting back and I'm like, man, you know what? Man, I knew I should have. Man, and you just kicking yourself. You sticking it to yourself really hard, because nothing is worse than a failed opportunity. You can't get that time back. You can never get that time back. It's a failed opportunity, man. And you cannot get that time back. And now you sitting there and you thinking like, man, some of us is living in fear. We standing at the diving board of the deep end. It's 15 feet. It's deep. You see the chlorine. You're looking at the pool. You scared to jump. A lot of us is living in fear. We are living in fear. We're standing on the diving board and we're scared to jump. We got to jump up in that water. I know that water cold. That water cold. We got to jump up in that water, man. Jump up in that water. Get you about 2-3 towels on the side of that water, on the side of that swimming pool, and jump up in there. That's all you got to do. Jump in the water. Put you some floats, and you can't swim. Put you something put something up in you and jump in the water. That's what we got to do. You understand what I'm saying? I'm dealing with a business venture right now. One of the biggest business ventures of my life. It's literally one of the biggest business ventures of my life right now. And guess what I'm about to do? I'm about to jump up in there. You know, it's no more failed opportunities. We have no more room for error. We have no more time to waste. We are literally living in the last days. And I'm not going to get biblical. I'm just speaking on everyday, day-to-day terms, the reality. These are our last days. You understand what I'm saying? That's just a fact. It's the truth. And so knowing all of this information, guess what we cannot do? What we cannot do is continue to waste time. A lot of us are big procrastinators. Man, I'm going to just do that. Man, I'm going to get my license next week, man. I'm for real. I'm going to go down there next week for real. This has been a long week. It's been a long week, man. A lot of us make excuses for any situation. Let me give you an example. When I used to drink, in my drinking days, oh, it was a bad day. I got to have a drink. Oh, today was a good day, man. Everything went smooth today. I gotta have a drink. Does that make sense? Do you follow me? If it's a bad day, oh man, today was horrible, man. You gotta have a drink, right? But today was a good day, man. Everything just flowed. It went smooth and everything was great, man. Today was great. Had a great day. You gotta have a drink. It's the same thing with procrastination. It's the same thing with procrastination. It's the exact same thing. Any situation that occurs is the fuel to continue to put things on the back burner. That's exactly what we're doing. We're putting things on the back burner. No, I'm not going to do that Monday because for whatever reason. Any reason will work. All you know is it won't be today. So what happens is we don't let the scab heal, right? We don't actually give it time to heal up. We don't put the Neosporin on it and let it heal up. You know, what we do is what? We put the Band-Aid on it. We just put the Band-Aid on it. The Band-Aid works for a while, right? But when the Band-Aid gets wet, what happens? It doesn't work anymore. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of us are walking around with Band-Aids in all different areas of our lives. You understand what I'm saying? We got work Band-Aids. We got workout Band-Aids. We got financial Band-Aids. You know, we got spiritual Band-Aids. We walking around with all types of different Band-Aids in every area, in every category of our lives. It's a Band-Aid on it. Speaking facts. I, me, myself included. You understand what I'm saying? But what we got to do, and like I said, once those Band-Aids get wet, they don't work. So instead of just doing it the right way the first time and letting it properly heal up, we don't do that. We stick a Band-Aid on it, right? It's only good. I mean, it's only good for so long. You know, rarely do we strike at the root. We always strike at the branches. You're just trying to swing at the branches. But we got to strike at the root. We got to get down to the root of the topic, of these situations. We have to, you know? And so for me, my job is never done. My job is never done. I'm a son. I'm a big brother. You know, I'm a friend. I'm a buddy. I'm all of that. You understand what I'm saying? What I've done is I'm very, very resourceful, very resourceful in all areas of whatever you're going through. If you know me, I'm most for definitely know somebody who's doing it, whether they're a plumber, whether they're doing electrician, I know a few attorneys, I know a few computer programmers, I know a few whatever you into, I know somebody who's doing it. And if I don't personally, the person that I know, they know somebody who's doing it. You understand what I'm saying? And it just seems as if, like, you know, it's like you can go out to eat with a good friend of yours that you haven't seen in a while, right? To catch up, and you go out and you grab that bite to eat. And once you go out and you grab that bite to eat, and everybody's talking, and we're catching up on what's been new, what's been going on in your life. And guess what you tell them? He's like, yeah, man. So what's been going on with you, man? Oh, man, just the same old. Just been working, man. Just been working. And what else? You've been working for 20 years. What else you been doing? That's all you've been doing was working? That's it? In other words, you literally went through your whole life working. That's it. I mean, okay, so let's break it down then. So if we've been at work, working for 20 to 30 years or more, what are we working for? Does that make sense? Some of us are working with no purpose. You gotta have a job. I'm with you. I work. I'm working. I got a goal. I got an end game. I got an end goal. I'm looking like this for what I'm trying to do. I'm not just working to be going to work every day, to be working in 70, 80 hours. I had to get the OT and hopefully got seniority, and then I gotta go. And everybody wants something different in life. True. This is true. But for me and the majority, pretty much everybody that's in my immediate circle, we all have the same end goal. We all have the end game in mind. The end game is in mind. You understand what I'm saying? So In other words, no matter what you're doing, always have a purpose. Never forget your purpose. I don't care what it is that you're doing. If you're working out in the gym twice a day, have a purpose behind it. If you're in class, you're in school, and you got so many accredited hours to finish up, and you had to sacrifice the time with the kids, and you had to drop them off, they had to get the babysitter so you could go over here and finish writing the theses because you would had to read this about Robert Langdon and Peter Solomon, and you had to finish. No matter what it is that you do, always keep the end game in mind. Never lose focus of your purpose. Always keep the end game in mind. Always. You understand what I'm saying? Start off small. You don't have to just, grab the first biggest piece. A lot of us is biting off more than we could chew. You got baby teeth. You don't got your grown, you don't got adult teeth yet. Some of us is biting off more than we could chew, and we got baby teeth. You know what I'm saying? Start off small. But whatever you into, always remember, keep the end game in mind and move with the purpose. That's it. Which leads me to my next topic. We have to be able to distinguish the difference between real life and social media. I know I'm serious. A lot of us cannot differentiate or distinguish the difference between everyday real life and social media. Let me give you an example. I got my phone. I'm scrolling through, my TL. I'm scrolling down my timeline. I'm scrolling through the news feed, and as I'm scrolling through, I see my man on there. I see one of my guys on there. He got the charger on there. It was clean. He had the, skirt. It was nice. Right? This is what I see on social media. I'm like, okay, check him out. That's what's up. I like that. Later on that day, I see him. He's getting out of the passenger seat of someone else's car. I'm like, bro, where the ride at, bro? I just seen you. I just seen you on the gram looking like new money. What was that about? Oh, that was old. That was old. That wasn't. I believe that, this is what I was told. That was old. That was, that was something old. That wasn't recent. Okay. I seen a young lady on Instagram scrolling through IG, looking appealing, looking extra awesome. I seen her in real life. In reality when I seen her. With no filters. And let's just say she didn't look like anything of she didn't look like how she looked on Instagram. We'll just leave it at that. I believe the point that I'm trying to make is everything that you see on Instagram, on Snapchat, on Facebook, on social media is not it. You understand what I'm saying? It's not it. That's why I find myself slowly but surely unplugging from the whole social media demon. That's a whole distraction. You understand what I'm saying? Social media is a distraction. It really is. And if you're not careful, you will pass 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes on social media just scrolling down your timeline. You might not even be dropping any likes. You might not even be leaving any comments, but you're just watching people. You're people watching. You're watching other people's lives and the things that they're posting in their lives. You're sitting there and you're watching it. You understand what I'm saying? That just takes up a lot of time. You know what I could be doing? Just sitting around scrolling down the timeline watching somebody else you basically scrolling down your timeline watching somebody else who's faking to be something that they're not even. So it's a double-edged sword. On this side, you got the people that's faking like there's something they're not on social media, right? Then on this side, you got the people that's watching the people that's faking on the internet to be something. It's a lose-lose. So every now and then you have to unplug. Every now and then you got to take the socket and you got to unplug. You have to. Because you'll get caught up in a trance. You'll get caught up in a trance of this social media deal. You understand what I'm saying? And we got to be mindful of that, man. Some of us get caught up in that. I was saying earlier, like 10 to 20, 30 minutes. Some of us get caught up in that for months, years at a time. You get caught up in that cycle of the social media cycle for years. You really will. You know, it gets bad when you got people they see you, and when they see you, they'll literally, hey bro, you seen my post? Why you ain't comment on my post when you know I posted it on Snapchat. Because I look at the people who watch my stories. Why you ain't say nothing, bro, on my post? When you got people that hit you with that, it's getting out of control. You done went too far. You mean to tell me that you made a post and you watched the people that watched your post, and now you're mad at the people that watched your post they didn't like and leave a comment? That's when you know it's getting out of control. You've gone way too far. This is you arguably might be to the point of no return. It could be argued that you might be to the point of no return. That could be argued. I would argue that. I would argue that you might be to the point of no return. I would argue that. I really would. So, I mean, we want to be mindful of this social media demon. I'm calling it a demon because it turns us into anything we want to be. You know, I can flex in the new Challenger with the rims, with the skirt. I can do all of that on social media. You understand what I'm saying? In real life, guess what? In real life, I was late on my mortgage. You don't have to see that on social media. In real life, I had to get an extension on my T-Mobile phone bill. You didn't see that on social media. You get what I'm saying? That girl who's flexing that Instagram model on the IG, guess what? She's about to lose custody of her children. Don't nobody even know that. But guess what? She looked good for the gram, though. It's cool for Instagram. See what I'm saying? That guy who's on IG with the Gucci belt and the retro threes, guess what? He been sleeping on his brother's couch for the last 8 months. That's his brother's Gucci belt. Those ain't even his Gucci shoes. But on the gram, guess what? He ran that bag up. He got a big bag on the gram. You see what I'm saying? He getting to the bag. He got that sack on IG. And if you're not careful and smart enough and intelligent enough to be able to distinguish the difference between the two, then you get caught up in that cycle and you'll get caught up in that trap. You understand what I'm saying? And so I just wanted to, kind of put that out there. Now, to the next topic, what that's basically leading into is trying to be as real and as authentic as you possibly can in everyday life. Being as authentic and as real and as genuine as you possibly can in everyday life. Like I was saying, being as real and as genuine and as solid as you possibly can. Now, let me break that down, right? Let me give you an example. Say you come to me and you're like, hey, and I'm totally just, freestyling right now, just off the top of my head. But say you come to me and you're like, hey, let me borrow $5, man. Right? And I'm like, bro, it's my last $5, but I'm going to give it to you. Right? But then you go and you ask somebody else and you're like, hey, let me get $5 from you, man. The other person might be like, bro, this is my last $5. I can't give you my last $5. You see how that works? In other words, one person's real is not the next person's real. Everyone is not going to have the same definition of authenticity. If I give you my last $5, because to me that's real, I'm giving you my last, man. Here. You see what I'm saying? But to someone else, they're like, yeah, I would, but this is my last. I can't do it. So who's to say who's wrong and who's right? Who's to say at this man's definition of real and that this man's definition of real, who's to say who's wrong and who's right? Something to think about. So that's basically what I was saying so far as the being as real and as authentic and as genuine and as solid as you possibly can be in everyday life. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. And so knowing that, you just, it starts with doing the next wise, best, rational, well planned out, thought about decision. We don't want to act on impulse. We don't want to do things. We don't want to make any indecisive move. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of variables. It's a lot of different factors that you have to add in with every choice, with every decision, with every move, with every decision that we make. It's a process. Usually for me, if it's like depending on the scenario and the situation, usually for me, what I will do is I will come up with a plan. I'll sit down. I'll write it out. After I write it out, I'll read it over. I'll go over it. I'll bring it to 2 or 3 people. Then I will pray about it. Once I pray about it, I'll reread the list. Once I get finished rereading the list, I'll sit, I'll think about it. I'll ponder on it. I'll sleep on it. I'll wake up, I'll pray again on it. I'll digest it. I'll decipher it. I'll filter it. Let me process it. I'll go through so much stuff before depending on the size of the decision. Now, I am human. Every now and then I will do something. Every now and then I will do something off of impulse, off of, just a fast decision that's not really super planned out and not really super thought about. But those great, big, life-changing moments, I'm writing it out. I got to read it over. I got to plan it out. I got to sleep on it. I got to pray about it. I got to call my mama. Let me call my daddy. Let me talk to him. Hey, can you meet for lunch? I got to meet for lunch. I'm on the phone. Hey, somebody's on the other line. I got a 3-way call. I got a conference call. I got so much stuff to make sure that I'm adding in all of the factors, all of the variables, all of everything that needs to be collected, all of the data, I don't want to just, let me give you an example. I talked to a guy earlier today. I hadn't seen him at work in like 3-4 days. We got the kind of job to where you're going to basically see everybody like every day. So I hadn't seen him in a couple days. And so I reached out to him and I was like, hey, what's going on with you, bro? You doing all right? He was like, yeah, man, I'm keeping it moving. I'm doing all right. And he just very, he was real subtle. He was real nonchalant when he, in his response. But the reply that he gave back to me was he quit. We're all grown men. I've quit a job before, right? If we're grown, we're all adults, we're all adults. Safe to say maybe we've all, quit a job or two before in our lifetime. But as I'm getting older and as I'm maturing and growing as a man with this purpose, me picking up and just leaving and quitting a job, guess what? That might take a month or two of processing everything that comes down. I have to literally break everything down. You just don't pick up and just decide one day that you're quitting a job. for me, at least, that's just not what I'm doing. I'm just not waking up one day and I'm not really feeling it, and then I quit. Let me give you an example. It's so serious to where, for me, in the whole job employment, quitting a job situation, this example, I would have to write down all of my whole monthly overhead, right? I would have to know that I would put in the 2 weeks notice to leave the job on this date, and then I would resume and pick up the new job on this date. I would have to know that all of these bills come out of the checking account on this date, and I know that I would get the first check from the new job to come out of the account on this date. I would have to know that all the bases got to be covered. Everything has to be covered with a big move like that. And this is just an example, not talking about anybody. But when my brother told me that, it kind of gave me, it put things into perspective for myself, if that makes any sense. At the end of the day, we're all grown men and we're all going to do what we want to do. But we want to make sure that our moves, our choices, our decisions, they're all well planned out. They're all well thought out. You prayed on it. You slept on it. You called, you called your mama. You called your pops. You called your life coach. You called your spiritual advisor. You talked to that big brother of yours. You talked to your great uncle. You talked to your little cousin about it. You talked to your, you've done some planning of, you've done some writing. Clearly you have another job. I know you didn't just leave and just left work and just didn't have a plan B and this was it. And I'm going to just wing it. And clearly you didn't do that, But hey, like I say, when that situation came to me, and like I said, that just was kind of thrown in my lap. It kind of was just thrown in my lap. It was kind of just given to me. And when he told me that, I said, the power of reflection. When he gave me that, I kind of just sat back and I thought like this, That's exactly what I was thinking. I was just sitting here and I kind of zoned out a little bit in thought. And I sat there and I just thought about it for a while, because that's such a big move. That's just such a big move. I see it all the time, man. Guys get, things that they get, whether it be homes or cars or, a lot of excess materialism, and you got to make sure you keep the means to pay for those toys that you've acquired. You got to make sure you got to make sure you get that. You got to make sure you got to make sure all the bases are covered in life. Whether that be the kids, whether that be the pet, whether that be the teacher parent meeting, whether that be the staff meetings, whether that mean the administrative, the people at the school administrators, whether that mean the principals, whether that mean the English teacher, whether that mean your boss at your job, whether that mean your PO, you're on probation, whether that means your kids at the house, whether that means it's your wife or your husband that you got going. No matter what you into, you got to make sure, and it's a lot. It can get overwhelming. Sometimes life just gets crazy. You got to, you was late. You had to rush to work. Sometimes life gets overwhelming. it gets overwhelming and we don't know how we gonna push on. But like I've said before in the previous video, we gotta keep pushing. We gotta keep pushing. We have to. We have to. It was an old saying that a guy told me. He told me this. It was a while ago once. It was a while ago when he told me this. He said that God did not bring us this far to drop us off right now. You know what? I take that back. He said God did not pull us out of the ocean. That's what he said. He said God did not pull us out of the ocean to let us drown in a swimming pool. That's what he said. He said God did not pull us out of the ocean to let us drown in a swimming pool. That's what he said. And when he said that, I mean, it's so, just saying it does something to me because, and if you're anything like me, you know, then clearly you've been through so much. You've been through a lot. So when he said that, I felt every bit of that statement. I felt all of it. I could so relate. You know what I mean? And so I don't know, man. I'm kind of all over the place in this video. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of all over the place, but all I am is really just a vessel. God is just using me. I try my best to let God speak his message through me and let me, you know, let him come from here. Let him come in and let me just, does that make sense? That's basically what I be trying to do because I know for a fact, I know without a shadow of a doubt that it's guys out there who hit me up and say, hey, man, I like what you're putting out there, man. I like what you're putting out there. Keep putting it out there. You understand what I'm saying? If you riding around with that guy and you don't know if you don't have to live like that, man. If you told yourself you was going to quit buying the Swisher Sweets and twisting up and all that, you don't have to live like that, man. If you told yourself you was only going to do 2 more pills and you just do these last 2 pills, and after you get done with these couple of this script to these, go get the prescription of the pills, you was going to be done. And now you don't have to live like that, man. If you told yourself, man, that you was, as soon as you get back from out of town, as soon as you got back, man, you was going to be done. This was going to be your last run. And now you back and you looked up and you back at the Days Inn trapping again. And you don't have to live like that, man. You do not have to stay at the same hotel, but keep getting different rooms, switching it up. That's stupid anyway, but you don't have to keep doing that. You do not have to keep living in addiction. You do not have to keep suffering. You do not have to suffer in pain any longer, man. You do not. You do not have to do that. I'm the voice of hope, and I'm putting my hope out there, man, that if I could do it, you could do it. You really can. It's been done. You know, I remember a saying somebody told me a long time ago. And this one, you know, this one touches me too. It just does something to me. It says that the people that say it can't be done, right? Stay with me. No, it says, those that say it can't be done shouldn't interrupt the ones that's doing it. Those that say it can't be done shouldn't interrupt the ones that's doing it. You know how deep that is? That's like somebody telling you, hey, listen, you're not going to be able to drive no more, man. You got 5 DUIs. You'll never get your license again. Right? That's like somebody telling you that, right? Well, guess what? I know a guy that got 10, that had his license for years. You know what I'm saying? That's like you on the basketball court and they saying, oh, you ain't got hops. You can't jump like that. You ain't jumping like that. You can't dunk. And you just say, hey, excuse me, bro. I'm trying to dunk real quick. I've been dunking for years. Watch out, bro. Excuse me. And you get up there and you dunk like you've been doing. Don't interrupt the guys that you saying you trying to tell this man that he can't dunk the basketball. Excuse me, bro. Let the man get through so he could dunk. He been dunking. Basically, you know what I'm saying? It's so that's it. I mean, it touches me. It touches me, man. It really does. It touched me. And I'm gonna wrap this thing up, man. I'm gonna let y'all go. But I'm gonna finish with this. No matter where you are in life, always use reflection. Once you are able to use reflection, right? Try to look at yourself try to look at things as if your life was not a game, but this is an analogy. This is a illustration, right? Look at yourself as if your life is a basketball or a football game, right? But you're not the player. Or you are the player, right? But you're looking at yourself through the lenses of the owner who is sitting up in the presidential suite, in the conference suite, watching you on the field. That's heavy. That's heavy. Look at your life as you are the player in this game. You're on the field. You're in the game. But you're looking at yourself through the owner's lenses, who is watching your every move from the conference suite or the presidential suite. You know how heavy that is? In other words, he can see everything on the field. He's seen when you came and you did the 3-step drop back and you pump fake to the tight end and you turned and you went left. He's seen when you faked it to the running back and you did the QB, the quarterback sneak, and you cut because he was pulling to the left side. And then he's seen when your mouthpiece flew out your mouth. He's sitting up and he's watching it from the suite. He can see it all. As we go through day to day, we want to be conscious and mindful of our every moves, of our every thought, of every action. Everything counts. We don't want to waste any time. And we always want to keep the end game in mind. And we always want to never lose sight of what the plan is, never lose focus of what the goal is, and always stay on our purpose.